Three, two, one. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Pages of New England. I am Zach,
I am Joe.
and this is episode 9.
Numero 9.
It's nueve. You can't say numero and then say, okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Today is going to be more of a chillax episode, just talking about our days, talking about our weekends.
Just talking about life.
Yeah, we got a few plans for some further future episodes, and I think we're gonna lay them on you, on you folks, you rascally 24 that listen. But we're gonna get your guys' opinion, and
Appreciate
again, I'm
all
gonna,
24 of you.
oh, absolutely, 200%. But we're all gonna push for you guys. We need you to comment. I need you to go deep into your gut and pull it out to stop what you're doing in your day and type a few letters in the chat.
Well, hopefully more than a few letters.
I could care less. I just need something.
All right, we'll take anything at this.
Drop a middle finger
Put
emoji
an emoji,
if you
yes.
want. Yeah. Just put something.
Anything.
Put something on there.
Just
Down
show
there in the
show
comment
us you're
section.
there.
Yes, please. All right, Joe. So a little bit before we started, we were talking about your day. How about you continue where you left off? How you said it was pretty relaxing so far. You just been chilling out on this Sunday. How about the rest of your weekend?
I was really busy. I guess it wasn't really busy. But kind of. I was watching Dad's house because he went away this weekend, and that was really unfortunate because his heat would not get higher than like 52. It was horrendous. It was so cold in that
Because it was
house.
on lock?
No, I don't know what happened. Like, I have no idea. And I thought he did it on purpose because he has, the Nest or whatever. So I'm like, oh my God, he's fucking with me. Like, because at first the heat was like 58. And so I like took a picture of it and I was like, dude, what the hell? And so then I like turned it up. And when I had left the house earlier that day, I'd set the heat to 67 degrees. And when I got home, it was 58. And then it didn't get any, it got colder overnight. So we turned it up.
Didn't really help.
And Dad was like, oh yeah, my bad. I just fixed it and set it to 70. Like I got that text because he texted me when I was asleep. So I woke up and saw that text, and then I go to because I'm like, oh my God, it's so cold in here for it being 70. 52 degrees when I woke up.
So it still wasn't changed.
It wasn't, yeah. It
So
got colder.
Yeah. I know he's been having issues with his hot water heater, but I don't think he has water baseboard heaters. I don't think he has like radiators.
He doesn't have steam heat.
Yeah. That's what it is, steam heat.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah, that's what we have here too as well.
Yeah. So there was like no rhyme or reason. I think it was just because it was so cold this weekend that like once it got to a certain temperature, it was just so difficult to get warmer until it got warmer outside. But it was like -2 degrees.
Yeah, but I guess that would only like highlight a flaw in the heating system because unless
no, it's a flaw in the insulation in the house. This is like when I was moving up from Georgia.
So you're telling me that the house actually was putting off 70 something degrees, but because the outside temperature was so cold, it's still the internal temperature at 50 whatever.
Correct.
Okay, I guess I could see that in a certain sense.
Because it's all about insulation. Think about an igloo.
Yeah, but like I guess I related back to the garage, right?
Yeah.
I got this 80,000 BTU propane heater, and it has no insulation and a simple fan circulating air back to the lower parts of the the area, the airflow down. Helps crazy keep that whole room like warm.
Yeah, but what happens when you shut it off?
Obviously it gets cool, but I would think that the heater would just continue to run if it's set to 70. It says 50 something, right? Like that right there would continue the heat system to stay on.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
So
is like if it got set once, like if it got set to 58 once, like he accidentally set it to 50 on his phone, it pushes like it can't. It already is cold, and now there's more cold coming in, and it's just you can't. And it's a bigger space. Think about it, you're heating a way bigger space.
Yeah, but I still feel like there's something wrong there because the heater would have just stayed on, and it would have just.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't make any sense.
Like if you turn the heater on and then you turn the heat on and then you open the window.
No. You
just keep the heat running 24/7 because it never gets to the temperature where the sensor turns off.
I mean, I agree. There's no right. I don't understand.
So he must have something broken, basically, which I know he's got issues right now.
Yeah. I don't know.
Did you hear about his little issue at the motel?
Yeah, where his door was frozen shut.
I mean, granted, it was 1 degree here
Right.
in Connecticut,
And they were at Motel 6
which
out like with outside doors.
so and no disrespect on me, papa, but I do have to point out the fact that
Don't hate on Motel 6, baby.
I'm absolutely hating on fucking Motel
No,
6.
I have had so many memories, great, we'll say good and bad memories at Motel 6.
For
That
e-
Motel 6 is life.
For everyone listening, that is exactly my fucking point.
But I
That
was a townie. Come on.
that Motel 6 was where all the high schoolers went.
Hell
That's
yeah.
where all the fucking prostitutes were.
No. It was just the high schoolers, us troublemakers.
There
The
was
prostitutes went downtown to the water.
okay. There were some sketchy looking hoes, and they were definitely doing some sketchy looking shit.
I mean, I'm not saying
Alright.
sketchy people weren't there.
So
Maybe one or two of them
you
might have
connect the dots.
sold themselves for drugs, but
Still
not. It wasn't.
prostitution.
It was like one or two. Like it wasn't like crazy. It wasn't like one every single night. Like,
Okay, but here's the point though, right? Is like
there may have been a
Jim-
couple times that was a little sketchy.
couple times. I had a couple times.
But
that were sketchy there.
listen. Even I'm banned from Motel 6, so clearly they're classing the place up. They're classing it up. I'm banned from it. It's not like
Let the silence
know?
speak for itself. I cannot. But my point, you're only making my point
I'm not
even
allowed
more.
to rent a room. I'm not banned. I'm just not allowed to rent a room.
That is basically being banned. You
I
can
still
stay.
I
You can still stay. That's a fair
yeah.
point. So, but let me get this point out though. The point being is that Jim is not someone who necessarily would skimp on value if it meant a better time, and yet he is heart like
But what I don't understand,
heartstrucken for this like
I don't
little
understand if
hometown
I was gonna say
Motel 6.
here's my thing though. If you're gonna go away for the weekend, don't go to Niantic.
Well, that's like his little hometown, his little beach hometown.
I mean, okay, but sure. Then don't like. I mean, I would stay at the Motel 6 again. I
That's
love
like
that
the
Motel
third
6.
time, fourth time he's done that.
But why not go to Sleep In? Is that still there? Or go to there's like 3 bed and breakfasts right there. You know, if you want to have that hometown experience, go to the freaking bed and breakfast right there in Niantic.
Rent an Airbnb.
Or rent an Airbnb. There you go.
You know, that's the comical point for me is that I find the irony in him choosing to stay in a place like that and then
Yeah.
have these types of issues. Which
Yeah.
again,
No,
not
yeah,
to
I
his fault,
kind
it
of-
got to 1 degree.
You know, you're kind
Any type
funny.
of door is gonna expand and lock up, or the water's gonna get into the mechanism and not work. It can happen.
Yeah. Not if you're renting. I feel like if you're at an Airbnb, you're
No,
not.
that shit would be fucking solid.
Yeah, you'd be good to go.
Yeah. But 2 hours.
I mean, me and my
2
best friends are
hours.
renting an Airbnb for our 30th.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
That's-
so much fun.
It's a good way to go.
So excited. It's gonna fit up like 9 people. We can sleep 9 people.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Well, it took him 2 hours
I know.
to get that resolved.
They had to come out with like a blowtorch, and they came out with a screw gun.
They drilled through the
Yeah.
door handle to try and get the door open. I can't believe what they did for that. It's insane.
Yep.
Totally insane.
All because it got too cold and the doors froze shut.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. But hey, they still had a good time. That's, I guess, all that matters.
Yeah, I know. And I called him like Friday morning or whatever it was. I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "We're just sitting here reading." I was like, "Oh, "Okay,
Fun-
sounds
fun-
relaxing."
Yeah, fun, relaxing times.
Yeah. Sure.
So yeah, you worked Saturday, worked Friday,
Yep.
had today off.
No, I didn't work Friday. I took Megan to.
That's when you went to the mall.
Yep.
Nice, nice.
And it was so cold. We were sprinting, and it was outside. And we were like sprinting from store to store. It was horrible.
Wow. Yeah, outdoor outlet malls like that definitely suck this time.
Whatever. I got my Uggs.
Yeah, you got what you needed. That's all that
Yeah,
matters.
I got what I wanted, and you did.
Friday, I went to Tom and Stephanie's house.
How's that? How's the baby?
So Isabel is great. Apparently, she's a cranky baby, cranky little
Aw. Oh.
girl, but she did great while we were there, and while everyone else was around.
That's
Kai is
awesome.
doing great. Kai is so funny now. He loves cheese. So
Aw.
like they put like the the charcuterie cheese
Mhm.
squares. They put those little pieces in front of him, and I just picture him like being the Godzilla of the little town, being like, ah, and he's just smashing this little cheese around until he gets it into his mouth and starts
Aw.
eating it. It's adorable, you know. But they had a Saturday was Steph's birthday,
Okay.
so Friday we had a little like dinner for her. Tom went to a store and found $6 a pound T-bones
Ooh.
and spent like 100 and something dollars and got like 20 something T-bones for everybody.
Nice.
Yeah, so he
Eating
just cooked
good.
up so many steaks. 2 grills with like 8 steaks each on them. It's
Damn.
insane.
It's a lot of meat.
Yeah, it was. And he gave us 2 pieces of steak, 2 full steaks to go.
To go. Damn.
Yeah, you know.
That's what I call a goodie bag right there.
Yeah, that's how them folks in Stafford do it. No, it was a great time. I love hanging out with those guys. And then Saturday we met back up with them for her actual birthday. We went out to Texas Roadhouse.
Nice.
So that was good. That was a good time. Saturday was kind of like the relaxing day in the morning. I built the button board, kind of wired it all up. Took a long time. And then brings us to today.
Yeah.
Today we went to the driving range in Groton. Went golfing with Adrian. Adrian just got back from a 2-week trip to Florida.
Fun.
Yeah, he drove down there. It's crazy. I mean, we drove to
gonna
Georgia,
say,
so it's like it's
yeah.
the same thing. But to do that over 2 weeks, it's a long time not to be like when me and Dad did it. It was just bang it out and get home, bang it out,
Yeah.
get there, bang it out, and get back home. Like it was.
Yeah, it was like bum bum bum.
Yeah, you know. But he did it. He said it was a great time, which is good. And then we had a great time at the golf range, doing so good. When he first started, he could probably barely hit the ball 100 yards, maybe even 50, barely. Now he's getting the driver to 250.
Oh, good for him.
So he's doing good.
Yay,
It's really good to see
Adrian.
him get better at that.
Yes.
We are on our way back from Groton today,
Okay.
and Megan's hungry. I'm hungry. I'm craving fucking Chipotle. Oh my God, am I craving this fucking Mexican Chipotle food? I don't know what it is about that combo of food.
We love Chipotle around here.
Honestly, Chipotle, Moe's, I don't even know how to describe it, but whoever does like rice, meat, beans in a bowl, they got me sold. Like anything else you put in it is just cherry on top for me.
Yeah.
That's all I need. Right? But those are the necessities. If you don't have that, you don't have a bowl. You don't have a burrito. You just don't have it, right?
Yeah.
So I fucking get to this. Now, to preference my pain and frustration with the Chipotle here in Manchester, they have been terrible.
Yeah.
For the past 3 years that we've lived here.
I'm not gonna lie, it took him like 45 minutes to get my single bowl ready.
Terrible. It's terrible. So to start, the mobile orders wouldn't sell you chips.
Interesting.
So now, granted, I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, if I can't order it online, I'm not gonna. No, I'll go inside. I'll wait in line. I'll tell them what I want. You know.
Yeah.
I'll Subway this shit and I'll get my stuff and go. Excuse me, but no, they had the chips. They just wouldn't sell you them over the app.
That's so weird.
For whatever fucking reason.
Because their chips are so good.
Yep. Yeah. Well, maybe that's why. Maybe they'd sell out on the mobile and.
Right, maybe people were just like buying just chips.
That's probably true because they are great.
Yeah.
We'd go there a few times. Megan's order would be wrong. They would put this hot sauce, which was so weird because you're literally watching them do like you're telling them.
Yeah.
And she'd say like hot salsa on the side, and the guy would just scoop the hot salsa, throw it in the top, and cover the lid, and she would just sit there, like you just fucked that up.
Yeah.
So specifically today, I go in there, wait in line 20 minutes, long ass line. The guy in front of me is either coming down or just going up because he is pacing back and forth. Keeps like stroking his head, running his hands through his hair. Crazy. I was anxious just for the guy in front of me. So finally he gets up there and there's no brown rice. A little bit of white rice. And he's like, oh yeah, we're just waiting, they're making it, and then the guy yells, white rice, out of white rice. somebody help, whatever. They
Yeah.
yell to have someone bring them white rice. And 5-10 minutes go by, and he goes, I don't know if the guy said someone messed up and they had to remake it, or if they
Ooh.
said nope, they're just making it now. So it's gonna take 20 minutes for the rice to be done.
Oh.
So the guy in front of me goes, fuck it, I'll just get the white rice. And I'm watching the guy scoop the white rice, and I'm like, I can hear him hitting the bottom of the bowl. He only said he needed brown rice, but he's fucking out of both rices.
Yeah.
And they're just acting stupid. And the guy in front of me turned around and goes, you want white rice? Because you can go ahead of me and get the white rice. I was like, no, I'm waiting for the brown rice too, bud. And then come to find out, he takes the last white rice, and now there's no rice at all.
No rice. Period.
Period. So the guy's like, do you want to skip the rice?
No.
Or you want to, like, wait? And I'm like, I look behind me at the line. That's all the way out the door, basically, at this point.
Jesus.
And I'm like, you can't get a burrito or a bowl without rice, and I'm going to wait 20 minutes for that? And
right.
the guy behind the counter was just, like, quiet as hell, can barely hear it. And I'm like, I know it's not your fault, dude, but, like, that's the main portion of the meal here.
Right.
I'm like, this is just a wash. It's just wasting my time, and I walk out.
Yeah.
Literally, I said that to him, and I walked right out the door. And everyone's just sitting there like, what the fuck? Because it's like, at that point, what are you going to do?
Right.
You're going to make us stand in line for 20 more minutes for the rice to come out, to most likely not have the other thing, like the steak or whatever, because for some odd reason, there's 20 people running around in there with their head cut off,
right.
and no one can fucking manage or keep on track what they have and what they don't have. It just blows my fucking mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what grind my gears today.
I don't know. It's tough. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's all about portion. Because again, when I worked in Georgia, we worked at a Latin Asian, so we had a lot of bowls, things that required rice, or again, like main portions.
Yeah, but you had a massive rice cooker that was always going.
It wasn't that big, but Chipotle should have a massive rice cooker too.
That's my point. Is like, at some point, a John or a John Doe, or what's the female for John Doe? Jane, thank you. A John or a Jane Doe is over there just being like, nah, we don't need to do that.
But the key is you start it and you keep it, and then if you don't, you look at the rice that you have, and if your rice that you're cooking is cooking faster, then you just turn it down and you cook it a little bit slower.
Especially, because you still work in the service industry. You've worked in the kitchen recently.
Yeah.
You understand when you have like a cycle of orders, it's just about keeping the flow going of everything cooking. Something's always cooking, right?
Something's always cooking.
So you're telling me at one point 12 employees were like, there's no rice going.
Right. No, it's
were they
definitely
all brand
unacceptable.
fucking new?
No, it's 100%
Was there no manager?
unacceptable.
Like, I just
and now I see it from both sides though, but here's where a lot of people in the service industry I feel like fuck up. Because if they did, let's say that something did happen, say that they did have rice cooking at all times and something happened, somebody made it wrong, got burnt, whatever.
Like way too much cilantro.
Whatever, exactly.
Cut themselves, whatever. Yeah.
Whatever
Shit
it may
happens.
be. You need to be honest with you. That's when you need to face crowd control and you need to not try and do, because that's what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
They act dumb and they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. No, that's when you need a manager or somebody who has semi sort of authority
PR,
tone in their voice and say, listen, I am sorry. We fucked up. Here, if you want to wait, I'll give you a free queso. If not, here's, a $10 voucher. Please come back, because you still want those customers to come back. And unfortunately, Zachary, I hate to say this, but you're going back despite what happened. Eventually, you're going to go back.
Dude, I fuck with Moe's all the way now. I will go to Glastonbury before I go back to this one.
All right. I mean, that's fine.
I left a review with 1 star.
I mean,
literally
no.
sat in the
That's
car and
good.
typed all my hatred into a comment and said, feel bad for the rest of the workers, but some of these people are blind.
Yeah.
And just we're not doing anything.
But again, and that's when you need to have crowd control, and you need to be like, listen, we fucked up. But how do you save that? You know what I mean? Because if you're nice, I've learned that if you're honest and you're nice to people, people will wait. You know what I mean? Again, Chipotle is in somewhat of a commercialized area.
So,
somebody could have ran over to, a couple people could go over to wherever store that's close by, go look at, you know what I mean? Like,
so I understand, because McDonald's, my ice cream machine's down, right?
always.
But they're not over there being like, sorry, bud, we're out of chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
We don't have McDoubles.
That's what
We
I'm saying.
can't serve any burgers or chicken patties today. No, they were out of their main fucking ingredient.
No, I get it. And that's what I'm saying. That's where, like, their front of house and their man. That's where that is. It's not necessarily because shit happens all the time. You know what I mean?
But like
But
that's why as much as I shit on Chick-fil-A for their like homophobic bullshit and their religious ways and shit like that, I respect the shit out of the quality
of work that they
of
require.
work that they require
Yep,
because it says a shit ton
absolutely,
about their company as far as professionalism. Again,
absolutely.
and I still disagree with some of their other professional opinions, but like when it comes to like etiquette of being in the workplace,
Oh,
those
absolutely.
people are polite, they're on task, they're
And
working, and they're efficient.
I know a bunch of people who have worked at Chick Fil A, and they, you know what I mean. They're like, yeah, you. It's a specific like, you have to stay with it. If not, like, you can get fired. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If you don't follow these rules. But and I think that's great, and I wish that could like if that was I would love to enforce that at any type. But unfortunately, the people just don't care. A lot of those people
Which is terrible because like
just don't care.
Chipotle could be top like a lot of people already hold it to top dog standard.
Yeah.
It could truly be top dog standard
But
if
see,
they just quality controlled their workers.
and here's the thing that cracks me up is because like it's I've worked at a couple of different places, and some of the places that I have worked at, I've had to take the online test. You know what I mean? Where you have to go through this series of questions in order to even be considered for that type of interview, for like an interview or an application. And I've also worked at restaurants where I've just walked in and had just an interview. I've walked, said, "Hey, I want to work here," whatever. And it's like no matter where I am, no matter where I am, I always find that the good places, the places that I genuinely enjoy to work, they're all kind of similar people. So that means that you have whatever filtration system that you're using to weed out the good and the bad, whether it's an online questionnaire
Oh,
that
I know what you're saying. You get like duplicates of everybody because
correct.
there's a bias in the hiring process, and whether it's
Correct.
a bad or good bias, you just get the same outcome.
Correct. And
I
I think
see.
it's great though because it helps weed out because
Especially when your bias is towards good workers.
well, no, and again, the thing is they keep good work. You know what I mean? That's like the one thing is
I
like
guess not biased, unbiased towards good
correct.
workers. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
And that was like what I especially that's what I found at Outback is like and that's what I loved about Outback is because like everybody had their own personality, which is totally understandable. But at the end of the day, everybody's work ethic was very similar. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
we needed to get done what we needed to get done in order for the day to be over. You know what I mean? No one I mean, we complained, sure, but no one made it worth like walking out of a shift. You know what I mean? Like we got through it because we knew we had to get through it. And then I've worked at some places where it's like and it wasn't even a restaurant. It was just like, professionalism or retail or wherever. And people I've seen they're just like they just show up,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
and they don't care. You know what I mean? They just show up and they're like, it's not my problem. Well, if you put in a little bit of work,
It's
then
nobody's problem.
it's no exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's all you have to do
Yep.
is put in just a little bit of everybody. If everybody can put in at least 80%, like it sucks. But you're always gonna have at least one or two people who are always gonna go above and beyond.
Yep.
So if you can have at least a majority of your employees do 80% efficiency to your guidelines, then the one or two that do the 110, 120 make up the difference. So it runs smoothly.
Yeah. And that's where I feel like if everybody, and again, I was close to going into the military. I didn't go, but I think if everybody had a little bit of military structure, they'd have more respect because what I noticed, and specifically at Stop and Shop, and like you said, they're the people who just show up, and then there are people who come in the back and like, okay, everybody, we have to stack the shit out of this department so we all can leave at 7:30.
Correct.
You want to leave early? You want to leave early? You want to leave? I want to leave early. We're all leaving early, so you better bust your ass.
Exactly.
And the minute someone slacks, he's on them. But then they all leave at 7:30. They're all happy as shit, and
Happy
they
as
show up
shit to
way
go.
better to work tomorrow.
Well, and it's like you look at countries like Israel, right? They require you almost men and female. Like I mean, females have like I think maybe females don't have the option. I'm not 100% sure, but I know all males are definitely required to go into the military for at least 2 years.
There's a funny
2 years. That's all. That's all they require. I think it should be necessary here too.
there's a funny saying for that. Or not a saying. There's like a proverb that maybe not came out of Israel, but came out of that time and era in places
Probably.
like that.
Israelians are very wise.
No, true. So it goes. So it's a man, and this man owns a shop, and he goes into the shop one day, and his lights don't work. Customer comes in and goes, "Oh, that's very unlucky," and he goes, "I don't know. We'll see." Right. Next day, uh, he can't find anyone to fix the light. So he goes, no one can fix my light. A second day without a light.
Yeah.
Customer says, oh well, that's unlucky. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Third day, the son goes up to try and fix the light, falls off the ladder and breaks his leg. Customer comes in and goes, oh wow, that's really unlucky. And he goes, yeah, maybe we'll have to see.
Yeah.
2 more days later, the military comes knocking and says, we're here to collect your son to join the war effort. And the father goes, my son can't work. He broke his leg. He's couch-ridden.
Yeah, it's disabled.
So they okay, all right. They leave. And the neighbor comes over and goes, wow, aren't you lucky? And he goes, yeah, we'll see.
All
right. That year, that military force goes to what's the word I'm saying? Goes to win the war. Basically, they become victory. Like they win and they come back, and all of those men are like honored as heroes. And they come back and goes, oh, how unlucky your son didn't get honored because he didn't go out with those guys. And he goes, yeah, maybe. We shall see.
Right.
And that was his entire lookout on everything, was that there's
so
pros
true.
and cons, and whether it's lucky or unlucky,
That's so wise,
it'll always even out.
Yeah, I love that.
And it was very, I mean, obviously I butchered some of it, but when you hear it in there.
No, I actually love that. The concept of it is so true because you really have no idea the outcome of life and whether it may be lucky or, and that's why, I mean, I believe in karma, which is fairly similar, but I do believe in luck. And I'm a big fan of instant gratification, and that's unfortunate. But so I do believe in, the lucky,
but that's why I like that saying, like, if you try
like
too hard for something, like if you try too hard for something and it just doesn't seem like it's going to come true, maybe it's not worth trying for.
Or maybe just go to a different angle.
Well, so like,
so again, think if you're.
So like, think about this, and this is my personal experience with it. I wanted a very specific car. My first car, I wanted a very specific car. I wanted a car that was quick enough, manual. I wanted all this stuff, right? Dad said it wasn't happening. So I went every avenue, every angle to try and talk down, get more money, justify, change this. Like, I tried everything. And I was just putting in too much work for something that just wasn't seeming like it was going to work. The car was either in terrible condition, it wasn't the right price, the guy was sketchy, no title. It was always something. And, and he says, maybe it's the things that you're working so hard for. And this isn't like to discourage, like, don't work hard enough because you're not going to succeed. It was
no, but you have to read the situation and read.
Some things will align,
correct,
and some things will never.
Yes, or are you not?
Yeah, and this was one of those situations where I had put so much trying and willingness into something I wasn't sure if was going to pay off. It's like that Hail Mary. Like when you Hail Mary, are you still aiming in the right direction?
Right.
Are you 360 spinning and just letting it go?
Just throwing it up there and say, I'll take anything at this point.
And after failure after failure after failure, I realized, okay, maybe it's not worth failing a fourth time. Yeah. And I've tried to find a better, more realistic, suitable car. And that's when I got the Eclipse, and it worked out. And
you loved that car.
And it still was the greatest car ever.
Yes, you loved that
And it
car.
lasted forever, and it fucking worked.
It did.
So, it just goes to show you in the same press, karma, all these sayings, some things that you really deeply want that may be selfish, and you go to extreme lengths to get them, don't always pay off.
Yeah.
So you need to find the right amount of self-intention and effort and put in that doesn't tip the scales one way to end up dropping everything.
Well, it's kind of funny you say that because, like, that's kind of how I look at how I kind of look at my work experience. You know what I mean? So, like, if there are days where, like, I didn't make that much money, but I didn't do anything, you know what I mean? I'm okay with it because, granted, you put in what you get out. You know what I mean? In some situations. But, like, there are some days where I've been blessed by making a lot of money and not having to work that hard, you know? So I always like that. But there's some days where I've made a lot of money, but I go home and I'm fucking hurting. Every bone, muscle.
Just sore, tired.
Sore. My mental is just
So you like what you
spank.
do. You like doing the
I love
service.
it.
So let me raise you this philosophical question. If I were to pay for you to move to Las Vegas, right? Now just the cost to move what you have now there, right? Maybe I'll pay for like a week in a hotel, right? But then you're on your own. It's what you got and what you can do.
Okay.
From there, knowing that a waitress or bartender can clear $100,000 to $250,000 a month, or maybe it's a year. I don't fucking know, but the statistic was mind-blowingly fucking huge.
Yeah.
Would you take that opportunity? Current situation right now, would you have
No.
relocate fucking
No.
$250,000 a year, $250,000 a month, whatever it was?
I could have. I mean, I wouldn't. I couldn't have done that. I mean, I probably could have come close, but I was in an area in Georgia where I could have done close to that.
But like that opportunity is a real thing, and people do have that opportunity, but you wouldn't do it
No, not right now where I'm at my life. Again, I moved back to Connecticut.
for reasons.
Yeah, to settle down, and I still don't like. I would love to run my own place, and I'm in the works to try and and maybe not run my own place, but be a part of some kind of startup. And that's something that I'm in the works of.
Yeah, you want to be a part
Hopefully
of something from the
achieving.
ground up.
Correct. So, but because I thought about when I first moved back whether I wanted to stay in the service industry or would I wanted to stay in a 9 to 5. Because in Georgia, technically, I was doing both, and I loved both. But really, my heart lies. Like, I never get bored in the service industry.
Yeah.
I found myself getting bored at the spa. And a lot of the corporate places that I've worked, I've always found myself getting bored because your limit for knowledge is limited. You know what I mean? You can only learn so much within, you know what I mean? Whereas the potential, like at a bar, I can create new drinks every couple months, or I can create new menu specials, or I can create event nights. It's something different.
It's
And
the location that favors the ones that will do and take the opportunities.
correct. And then again, it gives me the opportunity because I don't have a one customer. I mean, most businesses, they have a audience of customers that they, are trying to reach to. I get everybody from 21 to 90. I get the nerds. I get them all. So it allows me to, again, if I wanted to do, say, a trivia night for, something, genre
You have a
specific.
demographic that could fit for it.
So
Yeah.
I can learn about those things. You know what I mean? It gives me that opportunity to learn about multiple things.
Yep.
Because I have such a wide, like you said, demographical range of customers.
Yeah. So to follow up that question, because obviously it's all money driven, if I were to just to be like, hey, here's a gift, and just boom, plop $100 billion on your lap, check for $100 billion. What's the first thing you do?
I mean, obviously, I would pay my bills. I would get out of debt, but I wouldn't open a restaurant, but I would. I know a couple people that I would consult with and invest.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, false. First thing I would do is I would go to Greece. And now, the only reason why I say that is because there's a
I can picture
lifestyle.
you being a waitress in Greece,
I want to go experience the food. I
like
want to
in
experience the
Sicily.
drinks. Yep, I want to go island hop, and I want to get that experience, and I want to bring the islands to the island in a sense. I want to own someplace on the beach, and I want to have a very island themed bar, restaurant, seafood themed. It would probably be somewhere on obviously the shore, but I don't know where specifically.
So I still find it interesting, though. You take the money and still start a dream that still implies you working.
Yeah, but oh, absolutely, I would never not want to work.
Mm.
But if I can do it successfully, I wouldn't have to work as much. I could still travel and go to different places, learn new food techniques. You know what I mean? I can still broaden my knowledge, and I can open other places. So hey, maybe I want to open a place in the desert, or Arizona. So I go
Yeah.
to the middle, any desert area, and or I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I can
I see
adapt
you doing,
different.
like, because you can lose some money. So, like, you'll throw up a restaurant in kind of a place where it's not a great business venture, but you're helping a lot of great people, and like you're feeding a lot of great people, and you're serving a lot of great people, and you're making a great thing, and then it becomes like its own thing, and then you're just like, I'm
Ex-
walking away. You're good.
exactly.
I've
Like
done my part.
I want to do
I've set up a
destination.
station, and
Yeah, destination places in a
yeah,
sense. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
I feel like with that type of money,
and that's consistent revenue. So
kind of, yeah, when you have like 10 of them
yeah.
all across the world,
And as long as you keep it, I would never do one specific. You know, it would never be like I would
different
never do a
type of stuff.
chain. You
Yeah,
know, one thing at all different places. It would
Spanish,
correct.
Italian.
But I would want to know some of that firsthand. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
again, I would go to some of these places, and I would, you know, go to a lot of the local restaurants, see a lot of the local. You know, go to the food festivals that because that's where a lot of
Experience too,
correct and
not just start up and think you know it.
correct. So a lot of that takes a lot of money is just the preparation because
Yeah.
I would never want to open up a place like half-assed in a sense, you know, like
it's time because you have to also like experience, and experience can cost money.
correct.
Yeah, no, I totally understand.
So that's what I would do.
Nice.
What would you do?
I would become the investor version of Elon Musk.
But of course,
Cause like I love tech, I love new shit, I love people pushing the boundaries. I love to push the boundaries.
yeah,
I'm just not always that smart to see where certain boundaries can go. Like, would I love to get into space and rockets and shit? Hell yeah. But I would do the exact same move that Elon did, right? Hire a bunch of smart people, let them do the work. And he's a smart guy, but he's consulting.
yeah,
He comes in and adds final touches. And again, for him, he's big brain too. So he's providing a lot of utility and information for them. But like, there's a huge meme going around that the rocket for the starship or whatever,
yeah,
is like pointy. Looks like a spaceship, right? And he said, yeah. Well, we were in the lab, and it was kind of rounded over, and I guess they said it was aerodynamic, and it allowed them to use less fuel, whatever. And he goes, no, you need to make it look more pointy. It needs to look scary. It needs to look more pointy. And it's a reference from the movie The Dictator,
yeah.
when they're building their nuke bomb and it looks like a giant fucking
Oh
penis.
my god.
He's like, this doesn't look scary. This looks like penis. This doesn't look scary. It needs to be pointy. So it's like I could bring that, like, with that type of money, like buying Twitter
yeah,
and
I
then
could see
releasing all of the like exploitation that happened with
that.
it.
Yeah.
Like, that would be right up my alley. Fucking creating something that competes with Facebook that isn't so privacy controlled. Like,
You'd blow up TikTok.
that's my like. I feel like, well, also, like, if you look at the Dan Bilzerians and those people who are just like crazy lifestyle,
yeah.
I could do that shit. And I wouldn't necessarily want to be like a Dan Bilzerian where I'm playing poker and shit like that. I want to be more like a Mr. Beast and Elon Musk combined.
Yeah.
Like, tech entrepreneur with philanthropist. That's fucking modern.
Yeah, I could see that.
Did you know Mr. Beast, what is it, cured like 10,000, 1,000, 5,000, I don't know, a fucking huge number of people's blindness?
Really?
So
How?
so it's like the LASIK surgery where they have like foggy spots and they can't see, or they need like really good glasses because it's terrible.
Yeah.
So he went around and got a bunch of candidates and then paid for their surgeries.
Nice.
And then went to third world countries and set up with a specific doctor and paid for him to do it, and set up a booth in all these different places for people to come in and get their eyes fixed. It's a simple 5 to 10 minute procedure
Yeah.
that not 90, but like a huge majority of the population needs,
Yeah.
but can't get.
That's awesome.
So he went and did it just off a YouTube video. It was sick.
Dude, that's so awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was sick. But like, he on all of his old podcasts, he always talks about how they have like every day for the week straight or whatever, they do like the brainstorming, where they just sit in a room and they write shit down and they throw it in a bowl, and it's just like adopt 1,000 dogs.
Yeah.
Like, it's just those crazy titles that you get. And I think of like, if cure blindness is one of those,
Right.
what the fuck else is on
in
those
there.
lists?
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
Imagine everything that's been dropped to that bowl.
like, they went to Antarctica. They
That's crazy.
survived 3 days in Antarctica.
That's crazy.
and like named a mountain after people, like because they were the first people ever to climb this mountain. Like
Wow.
they're doing crazy shit, and that really is a business model about spending money to make money.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you know what I mean? So, in a certain sense, with $100 billion, you just start something that is like a perpetual business machine that you can hire
Consistent
good
revenue
people.
in a
And
sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Smart business.
and even then, with that type of money, maybe I would go in and just say, "Here, Jimmy from Mr. Beast. Here's a fucking here's a Billy.
Yeah.
One single billion out of the 100 that I have.
Right.
Go do something crazy and let me be a part of it." You know, and then go to the next YouTubers and be like, maybe start a foundation where you bring up a bunch of creators.
Right. That'd be cool.
You know what I mean? Like that. I think that's what I would be good with.
I could see that.
And I love the how both of our aspects still talks about like community bringing up. Like
Yeah.
we're not people who are gonna just sit at home and be like, I got millions. Here's my mansion. Look at all my toys.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
We would travel and do something with
Yeah.
our lives.
I still feel like I'd be one of those guys that just goes down to a like you know how specifically Megan, she'll be like, "Oh, let's go window shopping. Let's just go walk by the mall and window shop." And I'm like, "Okay, fine."
I cannot window shop.
I hate doing that. But if you had $1 billion,
right.
I'd go window shopping at a.
But is it really window? It's not window shopping if you buy something.
Well, so here's the catch-22 is for me. I wouldn't even be window shopping.
I was gonna say.
I would be window buying for other people.
Yeah, yeah.
I would just fucking walk into a store, and I would look around. Then obviously, and whether this is a little bit of sexist or maybe this is just me being a nice guy, I'd look for all the single moms. I'd look for like the more distraught population mixture in a certain store, and then I would just be like, I'd go up to them, I'm like, I'm gonna buy whatever you want, up to this amount of money, because obviously if you say I'll buy whatever you want, they're gonna go fucking nuts. Yeah. Somebody would, right? But if you say, hey, I see you here buying clothes for your son, I'd like to pay for all his school clothes. So I'll be around. Here's my number. When you're ready to check out, just call me and I'll come and I'll take care of it for you.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to do that.
That'd be cool.
Or even then, just like here's my debit card. Put the entire rest of the next hour of charges on my card.
Right.
Don't tell anybody.
See, what I would love to do is like, and you'd have to find a way to do it where it's not like creepy, but like follow like somebody like that around.
You already crossed the line. Come here, little Jimmy. I'd like to give you $100.
No, but like kind of like low key, like follow somebody like that around, and like everything that they touch. You know what I mean? In a sense, like
just purchase for them.
Yeah. So like, or even just watch them through, because these stores have security cameras, so you can just like watch it through security cameras.
Like pranked, but you buy all their shit for them.
Correct. So it's like, because I'll pick up something all the time, look at the price, and put it back. So like you see people pick something up and put it back. Well, every time they pick something up and put it back.
I think it'd be funnier if you like had you put a sign out in front of the store in a terrible spot, and it just says anything you touch you buy. Right, and you obviously have a camera outside the store, so it's like you can film people like you walked right in front of the sign.
Right.
What, you didn't read the sign? Well, you did not know how to read. You didn't read the sign. The sign says
you touch you buy.
And especially the better moment is like when they stop, they read the sign and they're like, no, they're just joking, right? And they go in and they do exactly what you're saying. They pick it up, and then you just have like the fake security guard come over and be like, sir, you have to buy that. And they're like, it's a $300 grill.
Or like at
the end, and then you come and rescue them.
Or like at the end when they go to check out, just be like, if we could do it like prank style, but like check out and they only have like, we only scan 4 things, but on camera we got them for everything that they like, in a carriage there's like a bunch of everything that they touched, and you're like, your bill's like $350, and you're like, the 3 things, what the fuck? And it's like, well, you touched everything.
That's so fucking good too. I think another good one too would be fucking great is like you get the cash register, the cash, what do they call those?
What?
Cash
register?
That's the fucking thing you scan the shit on. What's the person behind it? Who's the register?
Cashier.
The cashier. Thank you. I'm fucking blanking. You get the cashier. So like in my example of buying the grill, right?
Yeah.
You got a guy trying to buy a grill, a bunch of shit. You'd have the cashier not scan the grill, right?
Okay.
Have the guy not notice. Scans the card. It's like, oh, $200, whatever. Okay, cool. I thought it was $300. Maybe it's on sale. Or like just have her say it's on sale, whatever.
Well, yeah.
Have the guy walk out. And
Starts
then you just go
off.
running. You fucking book it out the store and be like, dude, sir, quick, you gotta go. You gotta go. They said you didn't pay for it. They're calling the cops. Dude, I tried to stall. You gotta go. Pay for it on,
Right.
you pay for it, we pay for it. But they get them to like fucking like, do they run back in the store and be like, no, I meant to pay for this.
Pay for
Or
that,
they're
yeah.
like, shit, help me load it in the truck.
Right? That would be kind of funny too, because like, and then if they did go back and pay for it, like, or try and pay for it, like,
Then you just be like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, we were trying to prank you. We actually
no,
bought your
no,
thing.
but like, I think that would be nice. So for like every person that went back to try and, like, fix it, or like really concerned, you get them something else, or like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, not only do we buy this grill, but we're gonna buy everything in your cart
I wonder
just
if you
for
could
being like a decent person.
I wonder if you could play it off. So like at Stop and Shop, when the lines got long, one of the managers or one of the backups would hop, like bagging, would hop on a register and pull someone off a line. Say, hey, come
Yeah.
over here. I wonder if you could do that selectively. And I know when you're ringing someone out, you can cancel tender. So like in the middle of them like processing their card, you can like cancel it on them. So I think it would be like interesting to cancel on them, like, oh no, it says your card was declined, and you're just the guy behind them,
Right.
and you just keep, every time they come in there, you're just buying people's groceries, and you're like, this machine doesn't work. I don't know why. It's not my card. I just paid. Let me try my card, man.
Right.
And you're like, oh, it must work. It's a new card. Must
Right. Yeah. That'd be cool.
be. It's like the nonchalant piece of it. People
Right.
think they're having bad luck, and you come and save the day.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool too.
You can't purposely create bad luck. That's like almost psychopathic.
Well, I mean, it's not actual bad luck though, right?
Well, I mean, you would have to explain that it's a prank. Like the way you're describing it is like
It's like an
specifically-
inside con job between
Yeah.
the cashier and some Robin
That's
Hood
like-
fucking
exactly.
fella. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So
But yeah. So maybe we should transition into kind of the next part, because we're already going on around 50 minutes.
yeah.
Let's talk about our next podcast episode ideas, or our future podcast ideas, right?
Okay.
We already kind of wrote down a few. I really like the idea of getting callers involved. We can port the audio in,
Yeah.
so they can have, the phone call, as long as someone's not in their car driving down the highway, or
It's a lot of background going across the Gold Star Bridge.
yeah, exactly. As long as someone's relatively prepared, we can have the audio sound good. We can get them on there. We can get it all taken care of.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be cool to ask them either random questions or exceedingly difficult questions, and
No, I'm down.
ask a bunch of different people and see how that works. I think it could be funny.
Yeah.
Right? And if you guys like that idea, definitely put that in the comments. We're gonna call that the 10 questions of different. I don't know. We're gonna come up with a better name.
Yeah. So we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Working title.
Yeah, working title for sure. But if you like the idea of getting callers involved, let us know.
Yes. I think that'd be cool though. I'm
What
down
was
for
your
it.
idea? You wrote down another idea?
Well, I just wrote down the one,
Yeah, what was it?
and it was just to, like teach each other talents.
Oh, yes, new talents.
New
So,
talents.
as much as I do like that idea, I think we just need to spin it off, because I don't think people are going to necessarily want to watch you learn how to program.
No, and I just
And I
used-
do get that as an example.
I was gonna say I just use, but again, I think it would be really cool for me to you. Again, you would think of your own. You know what I mean? I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I would love to teach you how to become like a proper server. Like I would love to do like, like make you. And I would think it would be really cool. I know we could get the bar involved. See you come in, and I think that would be not only comical, but I think it would be something.
Yeah.
Just watch you do a shift in the service industry. I think that would be.
Which I feel like with that type of pain and suffering that I'd have to go through, I'd have to come up with something pretty good to get you back.
Well, and again, but I would teach you, like, we would
Yeah.
do some practice stuff here at the house. Again, your wife, thankfully, was in the
A
service industry, so
yeah,
she can help us. But I would love to, and then have you do like, just like a 2-3 hour shift at the bar.
I do like the idea of like learning new talents for us. Like there's a channel that does it where it's like he learns something new every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like one day he learns to ride the backwards bike. One
Yeah.
day he learns to juggle. One day he learns to do this, and he keeps track of how long it takes him to learn that skill.
Learn it, yeah.
And it's like 12 hours, 32 hours, 8 hours, 5 minutes. He got one done. Like I think it'd be cool to like give each other a new thing that we've
Yeah.
never done.
I mean, I always like to try to do that for myself. I mean, like right now, I'm trying to learn calligraphy.
Mm.
So I've been watching a bunch of videos on it, and like I bought the calligraphy pens in like different sizes. So
It'd
I
be
try
nice.
and do
Maybe we
that.
can get again if you motherfuckers would put a comment down below. Maybe
Don't
we can get
call
them.
our viewers
You
motherfuckers.
schemy motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding. But maybe we can
Filthy
get a
animals.
yeah, yeah, dirty animals. Maybe we can get our great listeners, our wonderful, fantastic,
There we
great
go.
smelling listeners to comment some ideas below. Some new, and obviously you guys might not know if they're new for us, but just comment down your ideas.
We need some fresh eyes.
Yes. Yep. Ideas of new not tasks, what's the word I'm looking for?
Ideas?
No, not ideas, like traits, talents, things you want us to learn. Yeah. Right? And we'll pick from them and we'll go ahead. Nah.
I don't know.
I got plenty of hobbies. I don't need to spend more money. Come on.
Hobbies don't necessarily cost money.
You know, the funny part is
hobbies could actually pay for could bring in money.
No, that's true. Hobbies could bring in money.
Because think about it. If this whole serving thing, you could do banquet serving part-time, make like $500 a shot, and just pass out big trays of food.
Everyone talks about how, like, oh, golf is their hobby. Golf is their hobby. Well, when you golf as much as you want to, it's not a fucking hobby. It's your lifestyle.
That's true.
So it's a lot of these hobbies really have to be part-time for it to be a hobby.
A hobby.
But, yeah. Awesome. Well, I think we did a good job today. We had a nice, good conversation.
Yeah, for not being
well prepared. We got you guys entertained.
Right, we kept it going.
And if we didn't entertain you, let us know so I can get your address and I can come visit you and make you take those words back.
We got a bat.
Yeah.
Or we got golf clubs.
Oh yeah, that's a better threat.
Yeah, definitely got some golf clubs. So.
Hit a driver 300 yards. Imagine what that do to a kneecap.
All right, and on that note, thank you for listening.
All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in to episode 9. Hope you have a wonderful night.
Numero 9.
There you go.
Ha ha.
This is Zach.
I'm Joe.
Take care.
Have a good night.